party started. All right, and I'll get everybody muted. Thank you all for logging in tonight and showing up on the screen and enjoying the replay later if that's where you're at. Tonight's practice is going to be super simple. We're going to use all the props, so it's a little prop heavy, but we're going to do a couple of movements at the very beginning like we typically do, and then go into some long holds with a focus on resting, resetting, and digesting. Obviously, most all of us had a big holiday weekend. We've got big holiday weekends for the next 31 days. So tonight, the emphasis will be on calming our belly. And of course, I think the most important thing that we can do to boost our digestion and our digestive capacity is tap into our parasympathetic nervous system. That's the branch of our autonomic nervous system that is often called the tend and befriend, or the rest and digest branch of our nervous system. It is counter and complementary to our sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight, or let's go, let's get this thing done. So when we are wanting to digest, whether that's food and drink or digest emotions, we want to tap into that parasympathetic state. And how we do that is on the exhalation. So yes, we'll have some emphasis on our belly, to be sure, and our small intestine, large intestines. But most of all, we want to really sink into these long, slow exhales as much as possible and with as much intention as possible. So to begin, have all your props on standby, and we'll come down onto our backs to get started. When you land on your mat, follow the instincts of your body and do just whatever your body, kind of asks for. If you want to stretch, or if you want to roll yourself into a little ball, just take about 30 seconds to let yourself get situated and organized. Make your adjustments, do whatever fidgeting you want to do. As we each transition in our own way from the day's work into this appointment that we've set for ourselves and that we've kept with ourselves. And after you've had some time to follow your body's instincts, simply allow yourself to drop onto your mat and resist the urge to fidget or correct the positioning of your body. Just let yourself be. One at a time, bend your knees and set your feet onto your sticky mat. Step your feet as wide as your mat, maybe even a bit wider. And take your arms out like a T, or maybe bend your elbows into a goalpost shape. And then using your breath to guide your movements, inhale and take your knees to the left. And exhale, come back through center. And when you breathe in, you'll take your knees to the right. And keep rolling. You know this one. Big stretch on the inhale, lengthening the side of your body, and just a soft passive recoil back to center as you exhale. And let's go 2 more times from side to side, moving slow, moving deliberately. And please don't rush. When you finish, just walk your feet back towards the center of your sticky mat. Place your arms a comfortable distance from your body. And rest for just a few breaths while everybody catches up. Pull your knees into your chest. Place your hands over your kneecaps so that your fingers are moving down, you're pointing down your shins. Now your hands will never leave your knees. As you breathe in, straighten your arms, pushing your knees away just until your arms go straight. When you breathe out, you'll gently draw your knees back towards your chest. And keep going, softly, slowly pushing away as you inhale, noticing a slight arch in your lower back, a stretching of your belly. Bringing your knees in as you exhale and noticing a rounding of your back and a gentle compression to your stomach, small intestine, liver, and keep going. I encourage you to keep your feet relaxed and your knees bent deeply. Let your feet just hang out. No need to straighten the legs at all. This is called Apanasana. Apana is the downward moving wind of Vata. Each of the 3 doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, have, wait for it, 5 subdoshas. So once we wrap our brains around the characteristics and the qualities and the attributes of each of the 3 doshas, then we get to dive deeper into the studies of the 5 subdoshas and their relationships to and within our bodies and our minds. So fascinating. So Apana is the downward moving wind of Vata. We'll go one more time, just slowly pushing away. And gently hugging in as you exhale. You keep your right knee into your chest and stretch your left leg down the length of your mat and take 3 deep breaths. And I want you to visualize these breaths lifting your belly as you inhale and deflating your abdomen as you exhale. After your third breath, pull your left knee into your chest and slowly stretch your right leg down onto the floor. And as you're ready to do so, 3 deep breaths. Bring your right knee in to meet your left knee. And once again, with your hands on your kneecaps, your patellas, let's make 3 circles to the left with our knees. You can inhale as you round your knees to the left and push them away from your body, and exhale as you bring your knees to the right and sweep them back towards your belly. One more time. And we'll go the other way. 3 breaths, 3 circles to the right. Good. And then 3 times Apanasana, just pressing the knees forward as you breathe in. And bringing the knees back to your chest as you breathe out. 2 more times. Great. Set your feet to the floor. Take your feet a little wide and drop your knees inward so they rest against one another, and bring your hands to your belly. Place one hand right over your navel and cup that hand a little bit so there's some space, almost like, well, like you're making a little dome or a tent over your navel. And then you can rest your other hand on top. Invite your breath to be slow, easy, no force or manipulation, just long, deep breaths in, slow, soft, relaxed breaths out. Do you feel the rise and fall of your belly? Do you feel any pulsing underneath your hands? Can you get a sense for the temperature? Great. Set your arms to the side. And then you'll roll to one side so that you can reach for your, let's go for the round bolster. And take your blanket to the top of your sticky mat. I have mine folded another time, so it's like a rectangle, as you can see. It's going to be the pillow. And place your round bolster across your mat. And here we go, lying side stretch. You'll have the bolster snug against your left hip, left leg. Drape your left waist over your bolster so you can rest your head on your blanket. Now, if there's any drama in your left shoulder, the solution's pretty simple. Just fold your blanket up another time so you lift your head a bit. That should provide some more freedom and space for your shoulder so it doesn't feel so jammed up or cramped up. And then you all know this one. With your right arm, you can take it over your head if you'd like, or just keep it at your side. And anything goes with your legs, right? You can keep your knees bent, stretch your legs down the length of your mat, or a combination of the two. And invite your breath to freely travel throughout the entire right side of your body. Moving in and through your ascending colon, your liver, gallbladder, right kidney, appendix. Notice what you feel in your jaw, around the area of your TMJ, the temporal mandibular joint. And if it feels tight, if it feels clenched, you can bring some space between your bottom teeth and your top teeth.
You might even let your lower jaw, your mandible, kind of drop off kilter a little bit and sink towards the floor. We're going to take one more minute in this shape. You can begin to bring your right arm to your side once again if it's not there already. Draw your knees towards your bolster if your legs have been straight. Now you know the exit strategy. We're going to come up onto our right elbow and rest our head in our right hand. And then we'll lift ourselves up and turn to the other side. Take your time, moving as efficiently, slowly, as though you don't want to disturb the prana, the snow in the snow globe. Drape your right waist over the bolster. Right side, right shoulder might present very differently from the left. So if you need to raise your pillow, please do. And you'll take your left arm over your left ear, only if that feels right. And then anything goes with your legs. Oh. What do you feel in your jaw? Are there any adjustments or shifts that you can make subtly to bring about a sense of ease or repose? We'll stay about 1 more minute. You can bring your left arm to your side. Pull your knees up towards your bolster. Come up onto your right elbow, rest your head in your right hand. And come the rest of the way up. You're going to move your round bolster off to the side and bring your rectangle bolster onto your mat. And let's turn around so that the rectangle bolster is, the end of it is snug against our left leg. And tell you what I'm going to do. We can take this blanket that's folded in a rectangle and place it over the bolster long ways. Just kind of making it a little higher. Nice little platform. And knees are bent. Bring your hands to either side of your bolster and take a breath in. Lift your sternum. Is really lengthening your belly. And then bring your belly and your sternum over your bolster. And turn your head to the right. Now, sometimes we do this and we put a block underneath the head of the bolster so that we're elevated like this. And that's a lot, it's actually really nice. And it's much easier on the lower back. So I want to make sure that you are aware of that option and want to, if in the event you want to try it, experiment with it. Oh. And then what I like to do to ensure that my shoulders are relaxed, my arms are relaxed, is take my hands up towards the head of the bolster on the floor, on the ground, and just maybe clasp the fingers together if I can reach that far. And notice if your left elbow or left arm is pushing into the floor, trying to hold you up. And I'd encourage you to, I don't know if you can hear me, my mic is being squished. I'd encourage you to really drop into that left shoulder and that left arm and give it permission to just go limp, go completely at ease. Last couple of breaths, breathe actively to your belly. Slide your hands onto your mat until they're about under your shoulders and press the floor away from you, lifting yourself up. And then let's turn and do the other side. Just going to stay in the twist about 4 minutes on each side. Hands to either side of your bolster. And turning your ribs to the right, turning your sternum to the right, big breath in, and then gently bring yourself over the bolster as you exhale, turning your head to the left. Slide your hands onto your mat underneath your shoulders and slowly press yourself up. I'm going to have you leave this rectangle bolster where it is, but fold your blanket up one more fold and place it at the head of the bolster so you've got a good sized pillow up here. Grab your 2 blocks. Right. And then turn so you're sitting with your back against your bolster. Bend your knees, set your feet to the floor, drop your knees apart, and gently wedge, or maybe nestle is a more delicate word. Nestle a block underneath your thighs. So you've got a little support there. Foam blocks will be more comfortable than the wood blocks. And then you'll bring your hands to the floor. Lift your pelvis just enough so that you can swing your hips towards your heels as though you were kind of smoothing out your lower back. And then roll yourself over your bolster. Let your head find the pillow. Make any adjustments to your blocks so that A, you want to feel comfortable, but B, you want your legs supported. So I'm not so concerned with how close to the floor your knees can get. In fact, it's really irrelevant, but I do want your legs to be supported. What that does is it allows the inner thighs to relax a bit more so they're not engaged, trying to, keep the knees elevated. And then from here, now belly can be wide open and broad and expansive. And close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And feel for the rhythm of your breath, breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your nose, doing the best you can with the airway that you have. And then begin to tap into a rhythm with your breath where you are exhaling for 2 beats longer than your inhale. So in other words, if you're breathing in and counting silently to 4, you're breathing out and counting to 6. Once this becomes fairly effortless for you, then let's go even a step further into the parasympathetic by lengthening your exhalation so it's twice as long as your inhale. Breathing in for 4 and breathing out for 8. Drop your bottom teeth away from your top teeth. Invite some space into your mouth and peel your tongue off the roof of your mouth. And with every inhalation, there's an expansion of the ribs, a broadening and opening of the belly and the torso. And with each slow out breath, there's a softening, as though a wave or a cascade, a gentle cascade, a waterfall of relaxation and tranquility, just waterfalls from the crown of your head all the way down to your feet. Ranger. Sorry, my dog is snoring. That's okay. At the end of this next long, slow exhalation, you can relinquish your control or the manipulation of your breath and simply let it find its own neutral rhythm. And begin moving your fingers and your toes. Stretch through your arms out to the side, or maybe up on the diagonal like a V. And then bring your hands down to your legs, and with a gentle nudge and help from your hands, pull your right leg up, setting your right foot to the mat. And then pull your left knee up. You can slide your blocks off to the side, farther away from your mat. And then from here, I want you to roll over to one side just long enough to slide the bolster out from underneath your back. And return to your back. Coming all the way down onto the floor, stepping your feet wide with your knees bent, gently knocking your knees inward until they rest against one another. And cupping one hand over your navel, resting the other hand on top. Feel the rise and fall of your breath through your belly. Feel any pulsing. Become aware of any murmuring or gurgling. Notice the temperature. And walk your feet in towards one another and bring your knees to your chest, slowly, softly. You can wrap your hands around your knees or let your knees rest in the creases of your elbows. and grabbing a hold of your wrist or maybe clasping your fingers. And just stay put, or if it feels good, you can rock a little from side to side. Just slow, small, subtle moves, nothing jerky or big. And then rock yourself over to your favorite side. Ooh. And with your head being the last piece of you to come up, rise to sitting. Bring your hands together, base of your thumbs to your third eye at your forehead. A full breath in and an exhale. Bring your fingertips to your lips and take a full, rich breath in and a long, slow exhale. And place your hands to your heart. A broad and wide breath in and a slow exhale. Thank you for joining me and the others on the screen. Have a wonderful evening. Sleep well, digest well, and I'll see you soon.